Hey. Hey guys, check it out. It is Monday, and we are doing Sober Talk. I was supposed to be out of town, but I have to do some banking stuff tomorrow on some property. So anywho, we are doing the show tonight. Hey, how you doing, guys? Welcome to Sober Talk. You're here because you want to get sober. You need to get sober. Perhaps you're just sober curious. Maybe you're just tired of wasting all your money in alcohol. I don't know. Whatever the reason is, I'm glad you're here. So how do you know if you got a drinking problem? It's real easy. If it causes problems. If you got fired from a job, if you got a divorce, if you lost your home, your kids won't talk with you, you can kind of trace it back to alcohol. Could be a problem. So I've quit 100 times. I mean, geez, if not 1,000 times. So many times I've quit, and I always think, I got this. I'm good. I got it under control. I'm cured. Hell, I went 2 years. I can drink. And no, I couldn't. It was, I get right back into it, man. That vicious cycle just goes around and goes around and goes around. And let's see what we got going on here. Something is kind of weird with episode 54 going on right now because I don't know that I shared it to the other pages. Matter of fact, I don't think I did. So let's see what is happening here. Nope, it is not on the other pages. So should we take a second here and do that? Let's do that so we can get some viewers. We'll go to we'll copy the Sober Talk link and we will paste it over to Tom Mabe Comedy. And, well, heck, it's not even showing up there. I don't know what's going on, folks. I do know that I am so over whatever's going on in our country. People are losing money. They're losing jobs. The gigs aren't there. It's just really, really, it's tough on everybody. It's just... And I'm just fatigued. That's the best way I can put it. I'm tired of all of it. I know it sounds bad to say that, but there has to be an end to this. And I'm hoping they get vaccine and we can all go back to being normal and things like that. But I got friends who, I see businesses go under. I see people losing gigs. I'm in the entertainment industry, so I know a lot of my friends are performers, and I hate to see it. They're not working, and I don't know how long all the money's going to last with the unemployment and all that good stuff. So let's see, we're going to paste the Tom Mabe Comedy there. Now we'll go over and paste the to Mabe in America, and we got a really good show for you. I'm very excited about the people that we have coming on the show tonight. One guy in particular, you guys know Jeff Graham, my buddy Jeff Graham. He's really into recovery, and he's same path as me. I think he's a little more dedicated to the steps. And I was telling him today, I said, man, I'm still mad. I'm still bitter. Being alcohol free is one thing, but being alcohol free and happy, that's a whole different thing. So it was Maybe in America. So maybe it just took a second. Let me put it over here. And we will get down with our first guest and rock it out. All right, his name is Jack Nebraska. Jack Nebraska. I love that name. So let's check it out. Let's give Jack a call. We got some viewers now, and we can do this. All right, I hear a camera going off over there. That's always nice.
Hello.
Hey, Jack, it's Tom Mabe with Sober Talk. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, good, Tom. How's it going?
Man, I'm just this whole pandemic fatigue that I have going on right now. Look, I'm excited. I'm like 120 days sober and stuff, but geez, I am just I'm off.
Yeah,
I'm off, man.
I'm over the COVID stuff myself. That's a one day at a time thing, just like everything else.
Yeah, and I want to be happy. Everyone talks about you're in the program, right? So tell us your story.
Well, I grew up in Mason, Ohio. I was born to a pretty good family. I pretty much had just about everything I needed growing up. I was involved in a lot of things as a kid. I played sports. My dad was my baseball coach for a handful of years. I played music. I was a Boy Scout.
You're like an
I did all
all
kinds of
American
things.
kid.
Yeah, basically, yeah, pretty much. I wouldn't say we were like the Cleavers, but yeah, it was like a nice upbringing. Um, but I don't know what it was. I had this like kind of I can remember being in fear ever since I was just a little kid.
Well, now, hold on. Did you say you
And
can remember being in fear?
in fear, I was afraid of everything.
Ah,
Um,
wow, that sounds familiar. Go ahead.
but yeah, my dad used to drink when I was a kid. Um, and he was really hard on my mom and myself, and my sister got kind of butt end of it a little bit too, but not as bad as me and my mom. And everything. I felt like I was never good enough starting at a really really young age. Um, and then I never knew what an alcoholic was actually until I got in the rooms of recovery, and then I heard a lot of similarities and stuff. Like they talk about the phenomenon of craving and stuff, and I was like, that makes a lot of sense. I just thought I liked to drink and party a lot. But when I found, I can't remember the first drink I took, but I do remember. I'm pretty sure I started when I was 14, and I remember, it took in the rooms of recovery to realize this, but I remember being obsessed with it, pretty much from the get go. Like
Yeah,
I couldn't
same
do
here.
it.
Same, when I got that mind altering state, like, oh my gosh, I'm not afraid right now. I got a little more confidence. I'm happy. So I totally
Yep,
get it.
I felt comfortable dancing, even though I was a bad dancer. But yeah, I mean, it became very much a solution, and of course I couldn't drink every day starting out. I was 14, but I was always obsessed with it. Like, hey, when like I was living for that at that point. It was on. Like I was like, when is that going to happen again? And it's kind of the thing that progressed over time. It got worse and worse. I always prided myself on being a good, strong worker, and I never got fired from a job. And but eventually alcoholism robbed me of that, and I started losing really really good jobs.
Yeah,
Ended up dropping
alcohol
out of
will rob
college.
you. Alcohol will rob you of potential, your family, your driver's license, your right to bear arms, whatever. Alcohol will steal everything from you. What was your? When did you? When did you like? Ah, I better cut back. I mean, did something happen? Like what was your rock bottom?
My rock bottom was kind of um, this last time around. This is the longest stint of sobriety I've ever had in my life. Like my self will didn't get me very far before. I can remember going to meetings and picking up beer on the way home, but my rock bottom was more spiritual. Like my it was coming up. My rent was about to be increased, and I was like, "There's no way I can afford this." And I started working at this bar, and I worked there for a couple years. And even that, even my employers there and the drinkers there were just kind of starting to notice things. Like I had a best friend, and he started talking to me about my drinking. And at that point, I was like, whoa, like he's talking to me about my drinking. He was right there with me for a while. So I mean, I don't know. I started talking to my parents, and I ended up wrecking my car uh, one night, and then I lived out in Eastgate. I was gonna drive back home, but I had this intuitive thought. I mean, I was gone. I was wasted. I had this intuitive thought. I was like, yeah, maybe I would just drive back to my parents' house because I just backed in this car. It's pouring down rain. These people from the top balcony of this, very exclusive, illustrious hotel were chirping at me. So I drove back to my parents' house, and I was trying, I was out of my mind. I was trying to
So,
get my dad to smoke a bowl with me and stuff, and I
but
woke up.
what? So you okay? Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't mean to rush you. Go
No,
ahead.
you're fine. Oh, my bad. But I woke up and they offered to send me to treatment. Long story short, and I went to treatment for what ended up being 90 days.
Oh, three
That's
months. Yeah,
that's
I've
how.
heard of those. I've heard of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did you follow? I mean, did you ever go through like a spell? Like, they talk about how all this magical stuff happens once you get sober. and I'm still having some pissed off days. And I don't know if it's the pandemic, if it's I'm not working the steps right. But did you ever go through like, guys, I'm sober, but I'm miserable.
So yeah, when I first went to treatment, I was really worried. I was worried about what was going to happen after I got out of there, and if it wasn't for going to meetings in the evenings and talking, with you know, some real alcoholics that were bringing meetings in, I would have just worried myself to death. And I got out of treatment and I got a sponsor, and I would tell my sponsor all these things. So I moved back in with my parents, and that was, that was a shot to my pride and ego. But
Right.
everything's pride and ego. Like usually when I'm pissed off and I'm upset, there's something that it's pride and ego for me at least.
No, I can see that in me. I'm learning about that. It kind of comes back to my ego.
Yeah, yeah, it does for me too. And so, and when I'm not being honest with myself, I start blaming other things around me and stuff like that. But and I used to have a problem with living too much in the past or worrying about tomorrow. I was just never where my own 2 feet were, and that caused a lot of mental turmoil. And I used to be real hard on myself, and I tell myself like the worst things in the world. And there's pretty much nobody that was harder on me than myself. And um, I had this therapist in treatment, and he talked to me about positive affirmations, and that's just been one of the things that materializes slowly. But it gets
Like
better.
that. I'm good enough. People
Yeah,
like
like
me.
saying like I am good. I'm good enough. I'm a child of God. I'm a sober member of AA. Um, that's that's sometimes as far as my positive affirmations go right now. Some that's kind of been and I've been sober 15 months, and I'm struggling with it sometimes. But
Yeah, like
that's just when
like today, I'm like, geez, I'm just my brain juices are all messed up. I don't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to do sober talk. I'm supposed to be in Nashville tonight, and I got some banking stuff to do the next 2 days. And I'm like, I just really want a beer. And it just,
yeah.
I know that it would, I would feel like crap tomorrow. I'll be beating myself up. Like Lulu's on here right now. Lulu fell off the wagon and she's really beating herself up. Uh,
Oh,
but, uh, but yeah, it's really, really, I just have a, and you say you went through that a little bit until you figured out something that worked. And was it a step or was it all the power, the affirmations? What was it that,
uh, it's a combination of a lot of things, I guess. Um, I do something for my recovery every day. I mean, even though if things aren't great, but they start to get better. But yeah, I mean, I try to call my sponsor every day. Um, you know, I try not to isolate because I could be a pretty good isolator sometimes when things aren't going well. I was like, man, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to talk to anybody. And when I start having those, I think over time I start noticing that. And when I didn't notice that before, like I would just live and that's just doing it. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes now I'll realize that, be like, I really need to do something about this. And as far as just even leaving my room, and then I go outside, and you know, sometimes my phone can weigh 200 pounds, but I find that when I'm doing the things that my recovery program tells me to do, things work out better. But when I take my own self will back, and I don't, and I rest on my laurels, and I don't do the things I'm supposed to do, that's when those thoughts and the feelings come most
yeah,
most of the time.
I kind of feel so. I feel like sober talk to me is like one of those tiny spare tires, and I feel like that I'm kind of ignoring the steps and I'm focusing more on sober talk, which definitely gives me that structure and that routine, that we all need. But I need to really, really. Jeff bought me that 12 steps and 12 traditions, and that really breaks it down to layman terms. It's really, really cool. But
Hmm.
I gotta get a little more aggressive. This is the first time I've actually tried the steps. I've actually, I feel like I got like a part-time sponsor. I think he kind of probably losing faith in me a little bit because I haven't because
I feel like sometimes my sponsor loses a little bit. faith in me, but he's still the same old guy every time I call him, and he's like, "How's things going?" And
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
get back into talking to him though.
Do you
It
have
happens though.
you learn a lot from your sponsor?
Oh my gosh, yes. Um, yeah, he's the one that took me through the steps. And what made me willing to do the steps and actually like do a 4-step and share it with him and stuff was pain. I didn't want to drink again. I knew one thing, and even when my mind telling me that I wanted to, I knew I didn't want to. And I called and I started doing the steps right away, and it's been um, it's been a complete lifesaver, and he really
Yeah.
showed me how to work the program, and he taught me how to surround myself with other sober alcoholics, and pretty much anything I do today, there's not a sober alcohol. There's a sober alcoholic close by usually.
Oh, gee, have you heard the term before? Dry drunk.
Yeah, I've heard of the term.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm that. I'm not drinking, but I got to plow through the fourth and fifth step. I tried it once, and the guy just kind of beat me up about it. He said, "No, you need to go back, and you need to do this and that." And I'm like, "Oh, that's, God, that's a lot of work." And and I had another guy who was helping me out, and he's like, "When you're ready to get serious about your sobriety, you call me."
Oh,
I'm like, "Dude, I got a show," and it made me want to drink. And again, I haven't, but it's just really,
yeah,
really tough.
yeah. I sometimes I feel dry sometimes every now and too, but I think that's just my alcoholic disease trying to get the best of me. I really do.
Yeah, that
Like,
addiction is trying to like, you don't need this sponsor. My addiction is telling me you're fine. I was joking
yeah.
about, why I'm trying to get, sober and stay sober. My addiction's in the corner, doing
Mhm.
push-ups, working out, ready to kick my ass. But
Oh yeah, when I was in treatment, there was this guy that did these motivational speeches, and he'd get real into. He's like, "There's an 800-pound gorilla out there in the parking lot doing push-ups," and I'd be like, "Oh, well, I'll do push-ups in
yeah,
here."
oh yeah, and I'm not that guy. I'm really calm. I don't like conflict, and so I gotta find, again, I love my sponsor. We're actually friends, but we're both just on different schedules and such. But I really, really need to get. So you've been sober for 15 months.
Yeah, I was actually just talking about this with your good buddy Jeff
Uh huh.
before you called. I was like, yeah, I've been sober. Told what my sobriety date was, which is August 12th, 2019.
Wow.
Yeah, about 15 months.
And have you tried previously? Have you had false starts before and go a few months here and there before you actually made it to 15 months?
Yeah, I first time I ever went to a meeting was when I was 23, and I went because there was a guy working on my dad's house doing I forget what he's building, but I was really not doing good with my family at the time, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go to AA. And what I realized now is I was doing that to get put the flames down. I was doing that to get people off my back, and I'd come home, I knew they'd be asleep. I'd pick up beer on the way home and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's a pretty
Yeah.
alcoholic thing to do.
No, yeah, I was the same way. I was the same way. They made me want to drink, and that's what I like about sober talk. Sober talk, if we can kind of, throw in some step work and some other, programs that people are fans of, and some meditation and whatnot. It's very lighthearted. I mean, tonight I'm kind of Debbie Downer just because I'm done, man. I'm spent. I'm tired of everything that's going on in our world
Mhm.
right now. But I'll snap out of it. But well, man, that's great. So your rock bottom was that car wreck.
Yeah, I call it a little whiskey bump. It wasn't even that bad, but it was enough that I freaked out. And but it was all of that was more of a spiritual bottom. I mean, I had lower bottoms than that. I was living out of a Jeep one time for like a month, and I would show up at the bars in the evening like I wasn't living out of a Jeep. Um, so I had lower, like probably physical bottoms, but this last one that was spiritual, I felt it down to my core, and honestly, it was probably the biggest miracle that's ever happened to me in my life.
No, that's great. That's great. And you haven't slipped in 15 months. You've been just steady and nothing.
I haven't had a drink or a drug in 15 months, but I have I've had experiences that felt like it, brought me close, but I stay in close contact with other sober alcoholics, and I pretty much I try to nip that in the bud if I start feeling that way.
One of our regulars here, I'm reading comments too. People are like commenting on what you're saying. Carl Martin says, the most challenging part of sobriety to me is my thinking tells me being sober should allow me to be happy all the time and on top of the game every day. The reality is, I don't always want to feel pain, participate in conflict, feel tired, not be motivated, etc. Alcohol used to make me think that it was the only answer. Alcohol used to make me think of, yeah, you used but there's so many things. You could go running, jogging. There's so many, anything, any other routine. And people are like, how do I get one day under my belt? Now, did you have to, did you go to a medical facility? I mean, they win you off, with meds too?
Yeah, they were non-narcotic, and I was, I can't even remember what it was. I didn't take it for very long though, because, what I got in there, I knew I was like, I just want to get sober. I don't want to be relying upon anything. And I just, what really saved me though was going to the meetings that, people brought in the evenings. But yeah, I mean, I did take Prozac for a little bit.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah.
The side effects, it kind of squashes my creativity and kind of disables other parts of my body that I don't want to be disabled. But
yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I don't take it. I don't take it anymore.
Yeah. How old of a guy are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 31.
Oh, you're young, yeah. Well, man, this has been great. I mean, thanks so much for calling. I feel like I'd love to have you back on and discuss, your journey. So, but you're definitely working the steps now. Your AA is your weapon of choice to conquer your alcohol.
It's the only thing that I found that works for me personally. I tried a lot of. I mean, I feel like I tried everything for me. But yeah, that's AA is what's kept me sober, and it works.
Cool.
It works.
Cool. All right, brother. Well, thank you so much. I know you got something at 8:30 here that you.
Yeah, I gotta go chair a young people's meeting.
Cool, brother. Hey, thanks so much, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, man. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, well, let's do it again. I will.
And I want to talk to you for sure.
All right, I'll talk to you in a little bit, buddy. Thanks.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, how about that, man? That guy, a kid, 15 months, and Jack, Nebraska, from up in Ohio. It's great when you see somebody find something that works for them. I know a lot of people, again, we have people on the show who've been sober for 15, 20 years, incredibly happy, and they didn't do AA. So again, just because we're kind of, trying AA doesn't mean we're pushing it. So this is, I got high hopes. I've really got high hopes. So David Gossman says, why is my broadcast always interrupted if I can never watch live? I don't know why, David. It's really weird. We tried everything an hour in, and it's not an hour in. I think it must be bottlenecking. People are coming in, watching it, and whatever. So let's go on and get to the next caller here. This is one of these wanted to be on the show, but he wanted to talk about comedy. And I said, no, this is a different type of show, so I hope it's not this person here.
Hello?
Hey, it's Tom Mabe with Sober Talk. How are you?
Pretty good, and yourself?
I'm well, man. So what's happening with you? And this is Justin, huh?
Yes, sir.
So tell me about your sobriety or your lack of sobriety. And I'm not judging either way. I'm just curious to hear your story.
Well, so far I've actually been clean off of hard drugs for about 9 years, so that's a pretty good start.
No, that is a really good start. Now, did you kind of transfer that addiction with something else, or did you kind of supplement it with beer or anything? Or
well, actually, here's a pretty crazy story about how like drugs and alcohol can actually ruin your life pretty well.
Okay.
So when I was 19, I decided to sign up for the Army, and I smoked marijuana at the time too. So of course I had to quit that in order to get into boot camp and whatever. So I quit that and replaced it with alcohol and decided to take a Xanax with it. I crashed behind the wheel.
Wow.
Decided to say some words to the officer, and I ended up going to prison for 2 years instead of going to the Army. So alcohol did ruin my life for my chances of going into the military.
So you never made it to the Army. You were on your way, and you got sidetracked by some Xanax and beer.
Yep, exactly.
And you went to prison for 2 years.
Yes, sir.
Boy, that's a freaking That's a rock bottom right there. That is a rock. If you did what? Jeez Louise. Wow. And so, and you've been, but how long you been alcohol free? Is that 15 years as well?
No, this will be probably about 5 years or so from alcohol for sure.
Okay. Okay. So how did you quit? Did you white knuckle it? Did you get a therapist, a church, God,
Hon-
AA? What
Honestly,
was it?
all it was is just I had goals in life that I wanted to get to and stuff, and I've actually achieved my goals. And all it was is like, hey, I'm gonna quit because like this is pretty much what ruined my life in the past and stuff. And it's just pretty much got to the point where I just seen if I don't quit, I'm not gonna get anywhere where I want to be. So
Yeah, this Karl Marx said the caller before you says, I don't want to have to rely on anything, including drugs, to survive. And that's what.
exactly.
So what do you do? What do you do when you for a living? What's your day like?
Just pretty much wake up, go to work in the morning, come back home, and go to sleep. That's pretty much it.
Do you miss the drugs or the alcohol?
I do actually miss smoking marijuana, and that's pretty much it.
There's a lot of people think, well, no, marijuana is really not that bad. I mean, I hear a lot of that. I have a lot of people who quit drinking and they're pot smokers now. They got a vape or they got gummies or whatever they get when they go to a state that sells it. There's a lot of discussion about how marijuana, in a lot of people's eyes, is healthy for you. So, or not nearly as bad as alcohol. Someone said, well, you can't get a DUI on, being stoned.
Yeah, you actually can in some of the states that are even legal and stuff, just because they have the the DUI. But yeah,
Wow,
because they have
wow.
the little testers and whatnot. So yeah, you can still get kind of screwed over on that one too.
Well, man, congrats. You've been sober for 5 years off the alcohol, 15 years off the hardcore drug. And did you make something of your life? What kind of job? What kind of work do you do?
I actually do electrical work and stuff, and I am the boss of the company. And like it's pretty much like I said, everything's pretty much been going on a high roller ever since I quit everything. Because now I have a clear mind and stuff, and I was just like, hey, where do I want to be at? Like, how do I achieve those goals and stuff? So I'm always very goal oriented
Right.
into all my stuff that I go through life.
And how old are you?
I am 31.
30. I think our last caller was 31. I'm getting all kinds of confused. So,
Yes, he was.
well, man, Justin, thanks for picking up. Any advice you would give anyone out there? I see a lot of people on the chat right now who recently fell off the wagon. Did you ever fall off the wagon?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, sometimes they get into like a bad mood and stuff, and I fell off the wagon and stuff. That's why I had relapsed on the alcohol for like whenever I was pretty much clear for a little good while. I just kind of got depressed and stuff, and like I almost I was thinking about it whenever this whole Corona stuff happened because I was out of work for 4 months and stuff, and it was just kind of going downhill. But I didn't
Yeah,
go back to anything.
that's when that was my excuse. The whole pandemic was my excuse to drink, but I was stressed out. I mean, it was just so. I mean, so questionable. I'm a working entertainer, and every single show got canceled. But well, man, thanks so much, and congrats to you. And so the 2 year in prison that didn't hurt you getting a job or anything.
Yeah, that was the number one concern and stuff. But whenever I got out and stuff, I was just looking for a job and stuff. So that's what like prison didn't actually stop me, and they even have a class in there too that's supposed to change your life, and that's what the class actually called. It's called Changes.
Yeah.
But it didn't do anything for me, and I've taken drug classes even before that too, and it just none of it changed for me. It's like I just couldn't do the classes. I don't know why.
No, I get it. So in your accident that you had, did you kill anybody? Were you a repeat
No,
offender? I mean, that seems like a
actually, it was
pretty
my
harsh.
second DWI,
It was your
and this was
second one.
before I
I
even
know
turned
people.
21.
I know people have had five,
Yep.
not gone to prison. Wow, that's a. But it might have saved your life and made you successful.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, brother,
I
hey,
don't think of it as a bad thing for sure. I'd look at it as a positive thing, just because it did probably change my life for the better for sure.
well, congrats to you, and we'll talk to you down the road, brother.
Thank you, sir.
See you, man. Thanks, bye.
Bye.
All right, that was just. So I'm a little off center, man. I'm not in the best place. I'm glad our last two callers are sober, and I feel like I'm fighting something. I kind of want to get tested because I don't know I haven't lost my taste yet, but I feel like I got like the flu and my nose is running and just uh the best way I heard someone say my brain juices are messed up, and I think my brain juices are messed up. So let's see. Let's try. Let's try here. This is Bobby Burris. I want to touch base with Bobby. Bobby is not sober, but he's cut way back.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 9-3.
Well, Bobby's not picking up. I don't know what's going on. I was really hoping to get Bobby Burris on the phone.
Your call.
All right. When all else, I can always get a good call. Let me try. Guys, I'm sorry. This is probably not a sober talk that's going to make it to the podcast. By the way, in the description, if you want to listen to sober talk without watching it, we have our podcast up. Any podcast platform.
Mr. Mabe.
Carl, how are you, buddy?
I am doing great. I just had to mute you on the screen here.
I like your comment. Your comment said earlier that not depending on it for happiness and you don't want to rely on anything. And let's see here. The most challenging part of sobriety to me is my thinking tells me being sober should allow me to be happy all of the time.
Hey, and Tom, something my dad told me a long time ago, and I didn't really believe him or think about it a whole lot, but he said, Carl, when I quit drinking, he said, I really wanted to be able for someone to drop me off anywhere on this planet and me be able to survive and not have to depend on any drug, including the drug alcohol, to survive and not have and be able to survive and live, whether it was happy or unhappy, but he would not be dependent on chemicals. And and I thought about that for years, Tom. I mean, really. And then the longer I thought about it, I said, and then when I did get sober, I said, that is a great goal for me too, and I believe that today, that I might not like it, but you could drop me off anywhere on this planet, except maybe in Iran, and I would be able to survive and eventually find happiness or become happy, and that is, if you stop to think about that long enough, if you're suffering from addiction, that's just not going to be the way it is.
No,
you're going to be.
Yeah, and I just want to be happy, and I'm getting to the last quarter of my life, or I don't know where I'm at in my life, but I just want to be happy maybe it's just I got the whole pandemic fatigue going on. I'm just tired of everything. But man, today I was like, I really, really want a beer. I was like, I really, and it tells me that I'm not working the steps. It tells me something, I need to be happier than what I am, but.
Well, hey, Tom, I don't know necessarily that it's not working the steps. I think that's the nature of alcoholism, because you can be in AA or any program for many years, and that hits you. Hey, I just don't want to feel this pain, and or this whatever. I don't want to feel this. Oh, but I remember a solution: alcohol. It'll numb me. And then it'll take away everything you have.
Yeah, for the most part, I'm happy. Happier because I'm just healthier. And so, and my family loves it that I'm not, drinking beer every night.
And you're waking up every morning, I hope, or I assume.
Sober and feeling good.
I'm glad I didn't take a drink last night. That's the thing. They used to tell me in man, you think you're going to feel like a bluebird or a blue jay comes in your room every morning and pulls down the sheets and pats down your pillow and tells you something to that nature.
I'm having a pity party. I'm just having a pity party. It's like the weather turned cold. I'm wearing shorts right now because I'm used to being down at the beach. Come home, it's like I'm like, oh, geez, here comes the miserable cold. I don't know. It's just the algorithm on my other job. Everything is just I used to be able to put a video up and it would get 1 million views in an hour. Now if I hit 100,000 views in a week, it's like that's amazing. And everything is just really really weird right now. And I just feel like I should be further along or with my happiness and my sobriety. It's only been what going on 4 months. So I know,
Yeah,
it's new to me, and I spent years and years drinking. So
and Tom, the reality, I think the man, once I finally accepted it, it it's just not going to be perfect all the time. It's just, and we're going to worry about things. We're going to,
absolutely.
and you're going to. I would be more concerned right now if you were not having challenges in your brain. If I would say
Interesting.
you have a very bad problem if you're not thinking about drinking. I mean, that would be like either A, you were never really an alcoholic, or B, you've got some issues that are far outside the extent of being an alcoholic. So, anyway, I do believe that sincerely. If you don't have bad days and you don't let everybody else let us all know that you have bad days, especially the ones who don't comment or say anything, and they don't understand that just because you stop drinking does not mean you're going to feel great all the time.
Right. I get it. Someone says here, Michael Mahan says, if you truly decide to quit, you can ride a sober high for a while. Life will drop kick you back into reality, but staying sober will still make it better than before. No, I get that. It will.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that. And I have people, newbies like, man, I'm doing great. I feel great. I'm never going to touch this stuff again. But I talked to Tina Labate. Right, she has her son's father-in-law as her sponsor, who's never been to AA. She's on here. I worry about her. Yeah, I worry about everybody. I do welfare checks on everyone in the group pretty much daily because I know I like the community. I like being. And my therapist, she loves watching the show. She goes back afterwards and she watches it and she says, "How are you doing?" I said, "What do you mean? I'm doing great." She said, "No, how is this impacting you? You need to be careful because not only do you have your problems, you have everyone else's problems." I still don't.
That's a good point.
I don't.
Taking on.
Yeah, some people, that one person who's no longer with us, accused me of stabbing her in the back, and I was the reason why she fell off the wagon. I'm like, I don't need that kind of. I don't need that,
No.
So.
No, but the great thing though, Tom, sure enough, is letting everybody else know that you're a real person, you're a real alcoholic, and they can relate to. Wait a minute, he says he wants a drink and he's been sober 120 days.
Yeah.
Man, I was there. I was going to take a drink tomorrow or tonight, and he just told me he wanted to, but he didn't.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's once a day I think I want to drink. Penny Bishop, Carl says, Tom, it's hard to be happy now with all we are dealing with. Don't be hard on yourself. I'm not trying to be hard on myself. Just my brain juices are just making me down. Today I went to go.
Brain wiring.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, brain juice.
The brain wiring will do that.
No, we talked about that. Yeah. Let's see what Laura, our community nurse here, resident nurse. Today, my stress level is a 20 on a scale of 10. Work, COVID, family. I take an hour and I put my headphones in and go for a walk. That's what I want to do. But our park that I usually go to is closed. So.
But the reality is, and it sounds so simple, and we all know that she is telling the truth, but put the headphones on and go for a walk. Change it up. And I'm the worst case of this, is sitting around and thinking about what I should do to change the way that I'm thinking, and I would still do stay in the same chair in front of the computer and not go do anything about it. So,
Hey, Carl, hold that thought 1 second. I got to do something. Hold on. Hold on, Carl. All right, you there, buddy? You there?
I am. I didn't hear the flush sound.
No, the TV went black on me, and my OCD would just kill me if I didn't. I couldn't concentrate on anything other than that. Well, man, I got one guy here. I'm going to call. Let's wrap it up about 90 seconds. Go ahead, though.
Well, all I was going to say is, at this point in many of our lives right now, we do have to get rest, and we've got to quit thinking that we have some kind of control over what's going on, and we don't, other than our own lives and how we can be positive and help others. So I'll shut up with that, and we'll move on. But catch the other caller. I love hearing what other people say.
I wish I would have seen your message earlier. You said ask that guy if he drank while he was in prison for 2 years.
I've always wondered, and have always been told that they make alcohol in prison and in various ways. So I really am curious because that would have given him 2 years free of alcohol if he did not have access to it. So
Yeah.
that was what I was wondering.
Yeah, all right, buddy. Well, thank you, Carl. I'm gonna call this guy back, and we'll talk to you soon.
Good deal. Good night, Tom. Good
night.
night, everybody.
There you go. That's our good buddy Carl Martin. Now we're going to call this guy here. I think this is the number. Hopefully, this is the guy I'm supposed to be calling.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Oh, hey, Tom.
How's it going, buddy? Wait a minute. Am I dialing the wrong number here?
No, you're good. I
Okay.
fell off a ladder the other day and busted my phone, so every time you tried to call, it wasn't even showing up. So
tell everybody at home, you're still drunk and a loser. Let's talk about that. I'm teasing, dude.
I got you.
You're not drinking. Have you really cut in half, you think? Have you cut back quite a bit?
Yeah, but I've cut back quite a bit. Last time we talked, I was up to 30 beers a day, and I've cut that back quite a bit.
30 beers a day, dude. Your checked liver light came on a long ago. How's your health? What's your health like?
I'm pretty good. I think. Externally, I can't tell you about internally.
Well, that's not good if you don't know what's.
But I mean, I'm not a fat guy. I'm about 240.
Mm-hmm.
6'2". I mean, I
get baby
go to
blue
work
eyes.
every day.
Baby blue eyes, blonde hair.
ain't that good looking.
We'll save the good looks for me, buddy. I'm teasing. Yeah, I'm fat and skinny at the same time. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, man. I've since really watching your shows and all that, man, I have really cut it back this past week. Some issues have come into our life, and I resorted back to alcohol, which was not a very good decision at all.
Did anything bad happen when you leaned on alcohol to be your therapist?
I think so. And I really don't know where to get the right help. But everybody that I hear you talk to and everybody that you call and the messages that come up and all that, man, I mean, it gives me a light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, because I hear how everybody else goes about their own therapy. Some of them do AA, some of them online meetings and all that. Other people I've heard you talk with, they do different stuff. I'm just trying to find the right thing for me.
Tell me what you've tried. Have you tried like AA?
I have,
No, no,
but
I'm like half-assed, like I'm doing right now, or you really like, did you
uh,
try like sponsor and working the steps?
no, no, half-ass.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I get it. No, and it's easy to do. You feel like, I don't know if I'm getting this, or I love my Zoom meeting, and daggone it, I've just been so damn busy. I haven't gone to it in like a week. Um, they just talk about how, and I know people who are so together, and I was telling a buddy of mine, I said, I need to work that fourth and fifth step. He said, yeah, work it. You'll have so you get some more freedom in your head, free up some more space on your mind drive, if you will, and
Yeah.
and and I need to do that. There's something to it. Millions and millions of people cannot be. I mean, millions and millions of people are in AA and they're living incredibly great. And they tell me, Tom, you have no idea how great things are going to be. And I can't wait for that. Again, right now, a little bit of a pity party.
Yeah, no, I mean, really what happened was, I mean, I was doing real good since our last talk,
Mm-hmm.
and I have full custody of my son. His mom is not in his life, and she came into town, and that just got the anxiety. I've got high anxiety and all
Mm-hmm.
that going, and
You know what's good
that,
for anxiety? That bourbon. That's
but
It makes it
I
worse.
don't
Do
think,
you ever notice that when you're like, I'm so pissed off, I want to have some bourbon comment? No, it makes you more mad, and you're picking up the phone, and you're making calls that you shouldn't be making.
yeah, that happened too.
Wow.
but
This is,
but
I feel better.
yeah, I mean,
I got to tell you, I feel better just laughing about this right now. This is, I'm glad you picked up, by the way. So the
yeah.
the baby mama came to town. Your anxiety shot through the roof. Did you do the whole, you have not been in his life for this, and you're a blah, 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 blah. Did you go that route?
No, we tried to keep everything cordial, but it still just rose my anxiety. And resorting back to alcohol, I mean, you can't make excuses when you're an alcoholic. Well,
Right.
this is why it made me do this. This is why it made me do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't make excuses. The only excuse is that.
Dude, I have done so many bad things drunk. Things that unforgivable things, unforgettable things that my kids, tell my wife to get the gun and shoot me. Just please,
Well,
just
oh Jesus.
no, yeah, no. I mean, it's just because of
I,
just being drunk, and
yep.
your mind is altered with some kind of chemical, and it just sucks. But well, man, look, I got one more to call, so I need to wrap it up with you here in about 45 seconds. What else is on your mind?
Nothing really, Tom. I really just love watching your shows
Well, I'm sorry
every
tonight.
night.
I'm sorry tonight. I'm less talk show host and more just recovering alcoholic. And I'm thinking it's been 3 months, over 120 days. I'm good. I'm good. Here comes that addiction, that vicious cycle. I'm okay. Now, really, really would like to have a drink. I'm just gonna
Hey,
be honest.
Tom,
Mm.
can I ask you a question?
I am married. I'm sorry to disappoint you. No, go ahead.
No, not that kind of question. What makes you resort back to drinking?
Mm. Not being able to handle thoughts and obsessions and OCD and whatever, stress from work, stress from our current state of the world. And what was the question again? What makes me want to go drink again?
Yeah, because I know I've only got 45 seconds and that's probably up, but
Go ahead.
what, like, you've been sober for so umpteen many days.
Mm-hmm.
What was the trigger that turned you back on to wanting to take a drink?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
Life, bills, I own a lot of different. I invested in properties, and
Right.
and a lot of those properties are contingent upon people renting them, and it's just like
Right.
everyone's out of work. Everybody, I'm okay, but it's still a lot of stress. I got college and medical school, the kids. It's I'm self-employed. I'm in the entertainment
Yeah,
industry, and I
right,
live in Louisville, Kentucky, the entertainment capital of the world.
right.
Come on, it's a. I mean,
Do
I'm
do
good.
you
I'm good. I'm just constantly. I'm constantly working. I'm like, I just want to stop
do
sometimes.
do you do what I do and blame the drinking of alcohol on stress?
No, no, no. I blamed it. No. Oh, you mean? Oh, yeah. The reason, yeah. I'm sorry. I gotta have a drink. I just gotta have a drink. Yes, it's self-medicating. That's what we're all doing. We're self-medicating, and we have to figure out how to do that without killing ourselves. Because all these problems we have, rental properties not renting, whatever, gigs being canceled, those problems. The drinking problem is going to surpass that, and it's going to become a bigger problem than these other problems. And if you cut out the drinking problem, everything else will work out. I promise you, it all plays out. It all works out, but it never works
Yep.
out when you're hungover and you're drunk and you're trying to, eat beef jerky and eat Altoids to cover your breath up when you go to the store at
Right.
noon, or whatever. That's BS, man. It's total BS. And again, just a pity party. And I watch this when I get home and go, what the hell was I saying or
Yeah.
doing? You know, but it is what it is. And I get nervous. I get just twitchy, and I just get. And I tell you what, when I quit, I do have Tourette's, and uh, they got a lot worse when I quit drinking. And then, like after a month and a half in, they got a lot better. But right now, I've noticed since I've gotten this anxiety and I got the stress and whatnot,
Yeah.
I'm getting more twitchy.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, it's just any excuse. It's my addiction telling me to find any excuse to drink. That's all it is.
All right, Tom, buddy. I'll let you know I only had 45 seconds, but I appreciate you calling.
Bobby Burris, we'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, buddy.
See ya. So I want to prepare you for this because I want to call this guy, but every comment has been, let's do drunk talk, and he's dropping the F bomb and stuff. So I don't know how long he's going to make it on the phone. Shabazz, if you're listening, I understand you're hurting or you're stressed or you're something. Uh, Keep it somewhat family friendly, unlike the comments you're making on the page. One guy had a ban from the page already because he said something.
Welcome to
No,
Verizon Wireless.
I'm not wanting to call that. I'm not wanting to do that. I'm wanting to call 9. Let's see how many times I dialed this wrong. 8, 7. Nope, I did that wrong. Look at me. Don't get old, guys. Dyslexic. Okay, here we go. 7. Your hairs turn gray. You can feel them scratching you, but you can't see them. That's it. Hey there, it's Tom Mabe with Sober Talk. How you doing, brother?
Oh, what's up, Tom Mabe?
How are you?
I'm doing good.
You said we should have drunk talk. Sober talk is usually drunk talk. Half the people call in are drunk, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I'm a big fan.
Cool.
Big fan.
Are you a drinker?
Big fan.
Are you an alcoholic, drug addict?
I am a drinker. I'm a drinker. Drug addict. I'm a drug addict. I was alcohol. I take alcohol. I'm smoking weed, but I can't smoke too much. I get a little too high.
Are you
Can't
there?
get too high.
Caller, are you there? Hello? Well, that was a short call. Well, guys, Shabazz, you had a very bad connection. Maybe we could try this again when you're in a better location or something. Maybe you're on the road. I don't know. So yeah, I'm listening to Carl now too. Like Shabazz Thornton, I want to have you back on the show. Just a really, really bad connection. So let's see here. Is there anyone here? Anybody suffering? Anyone need to talk or anything? Let's see here. It is Bobby Burris. Thank you, Tom, for talking to me. Call local treatment centers and ask for an evaluation of how much it costs. It will tell you what causes you to drink and also the level you are at. Oh, that's interesting. This is Calais. I can't pronounce your name. She's a Marine, a former military lady. I was in the middle, not a high bottom drunk, who had not lost much from drinking, but not a low button. She says she's on a graph of being a drunk. She was not really a high drunk or a low drunk. She's somewhere in the middle, like homeless drunks on Skid Row who've just lost about everything. So she was in the middle. I would like to talk to you off the air. It's Bobby Burris. Again, dude, I'm married. All right, let's chill. No. Ez, how you doing? Easier said than done, but I get the message. David Renat, I'm looking to move. Do you have any cheap rental properties for me? No, they're all on the beach and they're very expensive. Sorry. So, Tom, 123 days. Let's see how I feel in 81 more days. This is Joel Harris. Do you have 123 days? That's great. I just want to share something. Before a trauma, we do a 15-second timeout. Quiet, eyes closed, and prayers. And after a trauma, we do a 30-second timeout. Throughout the day, give yourself timeouts. Breathe. Boy, wouldn't that be nice if you gave yourself a timeout? I want to just reach out real quick and say this is our little show here, and this show's not going to make it. This one here, this episode.
Hi, you reached Laura Ward. Sorry.
Laura, you're not picking up. I try to call you. Laura, get your adverbs here. Dolly. Let's see here.
Hello.
Hi, Laura. Tom Mabe.
Hey.
So,
hey guys.
I just read your timeout. You give yourself a timeout.
Yeah.
You go sit in the corner. What do you do?
No, we the whole team, we kind of stand around and we close our eyes. Everybody's very quiet. You can say a prayer. You can just breathe. Whatever you need to do, and just focus and get into the moment right then.
Oh, that's
nice. And then after, we do a 20-second timeout, and we just collect our thoughts. We stay with our eyes closed, just breathe, pray, whatever. And it helps us get back into the day. So I've started doing it before and after work too. Before I walk in the door and then after I walk out. And it's really helped.
Yeah, I need some more tools. I'm usually bulletproof, Laura. You can parachute me in any situation. And
yep.
my mom, the day my mom died, we were buried. I had a show, and I get to there's a part of my act where it's like, growing up, I was raised by a single mom. Any single moms, and I lost it. I lost it. I'm usually bulletproof, but man, it's just.
But you can't be that way all the time.
I know, yeah, and I hope the show's not suffering too bad.
You're doing a great job, but you know what? You need to remember that you need your time.
Yes.
And you need to take a time out during the day like I do and just breathe, put your phone down, turn it off, throw it out the window. I don't know what.
Yeah.
But...
Poor Carl called me over the weekend. Carl and I, we talk about daily. And Carl called me over the weekend. I go, Carl, I'm taking 2 days off. Bye. I felt bad for an hour after I hung up. I said, Carl, I'm taking 2 days off. Leave me alone.
No, it's fine.
No, Carl, I love you. He's someone that I could tell that he gets it, But,
yeah, he does.
So Carl asked, Carl says that's a really cool idea, Laura. Is it a group that you do it, or is it just by one? It is a group, okay.
No, it's my team. I make them do it, and they kind of laughed at me before, but about a week in, they were like, that is the best thing you could have ever taught us. And they said that they do it in the parking lot before they come into the building, and then they do it in the parking lot after they leave.
Wow. So okay, let's talk about this pandemic going around. What are the symptoms? Is there like runny nose and flu-like symptoms? What is it?
Pretty much. The first signs are respiratory, of course. In the lungs, the throat, runny nose, congestion, like you said, loss of taste, fever. You can have digestive symptoms, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting. Those are the basic symptoms. But I know right now, with the weather changing, my sinuses, yeah.
I've been sneezing, a lot of sneezing.
Yeah.
So
Yep,
hold on,
you probably,
Michael Scott Fisher. I'm sorry, we just had some. See, I kind of go back and forth from things.
yeah,
I kind of called you, but You say you have a new topic. I want to talk to you about that this week, and
yeah.
I'm just saying hi. But I gotta get. I gotta.
Okay.
There may be a couple people who like need to talk. I want to call them
All
real quick.
right, yeah. Well, listen, take care of yourself, okay?
Hey, Laura, thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye. That's our resident nurse. I called without warning. I just did it. And I'm glad she picked up. She says I got the disease. I'm an alcoholic, and I have that pandemic thing that's going around. So I do have allergies. 8794. We may be going over a little bit, people.
Hello?
Hey, Michael, Tom Mabe with Sober Talk. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, my God. How you doing?
I'm doing, I'm not going to lie. Allergies, I'm in a funk. My brain juices are all over the place. But yeah. So I saw you on my other page. I just want to reach out to you. You put your phone number down there.
Yeah, I didn't know you were an alcoholic.
Oh, are you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How's that?
Not like super deep, but I do drink beer every night, and I pretty much lost everything over it.
Yeah, that's just kind of a little bit of alcoholism right there. That's fine. You're fine, dude. I mean, I wouldn't even consider quitting. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Well,
Let me just no, hush. I
things.
want to tell you what you just told me. You said I'm not really in too deep. I drink every night, and I've lost everything I own. That's pretty
Well,
deep.
I lost my family. I didn't lose my house or my business. I didn't lose all that.
Screw your house and your business. You lost your family. That's dude.
Twice.
Same family?
No.
Oh, you lost two families.
Yes, I did. It's pretty. I mean, it's pretty bad. My blood pressure's out of control. I
Yeah,
went to the
same
doctor
here.
today. They're like you. I don't even want to tell the doctor that I drink every night. Like,
We lie. We lie.
You know.
And you drink, and they know, dude. When you come in, you got that puffiness, that what Bev calls the booze bloat. They know, and we all lie like, no, just on the weekends. You're just screwing yourself.
on Fridays. Yeah, just on Fridays on payday.
You're screwing yourself. So where do you live? What part of the world do you live in?
I'm in SoCal.
Southern California. All right. Orange County, Santa Monica, San Diego.
I'm up in Barstow, actually.
Gotcha. Okay. So this is hey, real quick.
Sorry,
I want to know, Rob. You're all right. I just want to
Hold on, I
read
got
this.
the page playing behind you. Sorry.
Do what now?
Hold on, I'm watching it live at the same time. Hold on.
Yeah. Turn it down because it's gonna mess you up.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, I'm gonna read. I'm not a drinker, but have been surrounded by them my entire life. This is from Robin. And been to Al-Anon meetings, etc. Alcoholic parents, grandparents, siblings, ex-husband, etc. And it's strange that I still have a hard time understanding it. But I will say that the damage done to myself being around it will never be overcome. And during those times, I didn't have the alcohol to help me cope. Collateral damage. Robin Siloff Kowicki. Robin, that's eye-opening.
Deep.
That's deep. And I mean, this thing, it's hurt her. Someone did permanent, damage to her because she was around it all the time. Collateral damage. So,
Yeah.
So have you ever quit?
Well, I'll quit for like 6 months at a time. When I first started drinking, when my grandma died. She died of lung cancer, and so I started messing around with like vodka and Gatorade, right? And so I would drink vodka and Gatorade and go to work. I'd do pool service in Barstow, and so I would start like drinking and drinking and drinking. And I'd stop. I'd stop drinking for like months at a time, but then I'd pick it up again and start doing it. And like eventually, I was like, you know what? No more vodka. I'm not drinking vodka. I'm just going to drink beer.
Yeah, we
better.
do that. Yeah,
And like, quote, it's better. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I started drinking beer every night. And so I met the second girl, because this was after my divorce.
Okay.
The second girl who was, she had just got divorced from her husband, who was like a real deep drunk. He was like vodka for breakfast drunk. And he'd leave for months. And so she was like this huge Al-Anon girl. Like she would never take blame for anything that she did. So everything was always my fault. So I really went really deep into drinking at night and trying to avoid her, and we ended up having a baby, and it was like nothing was ever her fault. Like, I'm going to keep reiterating that because
everything is my fault. Even till this day, everything is my fault. And so it really weighs heavy, because the people around you kind of force you to drink more sometimes when they're not wanting to take any kind of blame
Can I tell you something, brother? You are utter denial. Jeez, you're not playing with a full deck right now. And you know why I can say that? Because I was the same way. You're out of it. It is all your. If you're drinking and you start drinking more, she says, "Oh, the drinking's bothering me." So how do you do? I can't stand her always complaining about my drinking, so I started drinking more. Have you ever quit? What's the longest you've ever quit?
6 months with her. And okay, so how about this?
Yeah.
You can hide your drinking from her, and she'll treat you different than when she knows you're drinking.
Does your liver treat you different? I don't know, man. And you went 6 months. So did you hide? Did you like drink a little bit, or did you like really go 6 months?
No, I went 6 months fully. Yeah.
And you have a baby with her.
Yeah.
And that's family number 2. In the previous family, did that come from drinking too? Did you lose your family on that first family because of alcohol?
No, I lost it over a girl employee, actually.
Were you drunk when you were hooking up with the girl employee?
Oh, no.
Okay. Was the girl employee the one that you ended up getting pregnant?
No.
Well, man, it sounds like you really got everything together, and I think you're good. All right, thanks for calling.
No.
Brother,
I feel like, I know that it's a problem, you know what I mean? I totally relate to what you're saying on your live. It just feels like it's not always 100% our fault, and they make it 100% our fault,
I tell you, if it causes problems, it's a problem, and it sounds like you have a drinking problem. You're one of us.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Right now I'm 37.
Well,
what's the answer? Do you feel like when you went to AA, did you feel like it solved the problem? Did it help?
It does help so much. It helps so much, but I'm kind of half-assing the steps because I've got all these other things I'm doing. I don't talk to my sponsor.
Because I think
but it does.
The live is actually, you probably have you do have a lot of alcoholics looking at your live right now, looking for what is the answer. What is going to solve this for me?
Well, the first thing is stop drinking. That's the first thing is to stop drinking. And then you got to fix what we drink because we're self-medicating. Now you got to figure out what is it that's bothering you? Why are you sick? They call it RID, restless, irritable, discontent. That's one of them. Loneliness, depression. Sometimes
anxiety, right?
No, geez, Louise, all of that. But you can't. None of the meds work. You can't mix Prozac with bourbon. None of them work.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
So until you stop drinking and try a different medicine, which is counseling and therapy and and all that good stuff, you're going to die you're not going to live to be 57. I tell you that if you keep on drinking like you're drinking.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I don't know, man.
You've been to AA,
yeah,
right?
I never found for years. I went to a meeting every once in a while when, I'm going to go to a meeting. I'm going to, say something at home that I shouldn't have said, or I did something, or I didn't come home for a day and a half, or whatever. I'm going to go to a meeting. I'm going to go to a meeting. I just disappear and go somewhere.
Tiptoed, right?
Yeah, so I would go into a meeting and I'm like, all right, okay, yeah, I went to a meeting. Or you just, no, I'm good. I went to a couple of meetings, I'm good, But no, meetings never worked for me. They started working for me when I found that you can Google Zoom AA, and you can do it. I don't like being around people, and not trying to say I'm a celebrity or anything, but sometimes remember a guy wanted to get.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, well, a guy wanted to get a selfie at a meeting. I'm like, no, this Alcoholics Anonymous, and I realized, my drunk.
Well, I live in a really small town, and so everyone knows who I am too, because I run a huge pool service there. So I can't go to AA because everyone knows who I am in this town, and so.
Well, you can go. Just because you're a comedian or a pool guy or whatever, just because people know you doesn't mean you can't go to AA. It's not a bad thing. It becomes a bad thing when you don't go. If you find some kind of treatment facility, try some kind of program. There's a real good book called The Rational Recovery. Rational Recovery is a great book, and it's not about AA. And that's a really strong book, but you still need structure. You still need the gym. You still need the hiking, and you still need sober talk. You need to do something. Look, I do this every night of my kids and wife think I live at the office. I'm always here. When I'm not on live, I'm trying to find guests and things like that. So that's all right, brother. Well, it sounds like you need to quit. It sounds like you need to maybe get some, or how much are you drinking? And get some medical help. Bev Holland says first step, get medical help.
I'm drinking like a 12-pack a night.
Yeah,
right now.
that's bad. I did that. Yeah.
But it's gonna keep getting bigger, you know.
Yeah, but you gotta quit blaming it, on the other people. It's you and the alcohol. Because I mean,
Yeah.
I tell you, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's not.
All right. Well, I love you, man. You're a great guy.
I love you too, man. Come back and watch
I love
us.
all your stuff.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You do good forever.
All right, buddy. We'll see you.
Have a good one.
You too. So wow, Joe Harris, Tom, you have me checking out Zoom AA. I do it through the AA app. That's a great app, man. Reach out to your medical professionals. We have a lot of sources, and don't judge. It kind of pissed me off when he said, "Well, people know me in the community," and it pissed me off about me because you can still go to an AA meeting whether or not people know you or not. Josh Graves, acceptance. We've admitted we are alcoholics and our lives have become unmanageable. That's me, Josh. But if you're drinking 12-pack, the guy who just hung up, make sure you talk with your doctor. Don't try to just white knuckle it. Great show. Love y'all. Hey, Michael Meehan. Tom, might be time to call it a night. All right. That bad, Carl? It's pretty bad when Tom, just turn off the computer. All right. Hey, I love you guys. I just want to make high blood pressure. Yeah, that's is down. That's a good, Joel. That's a good thing. Let's see here. Tina Labate. I never tell the doctor I drink. Yeah, see, okay. It says, I could call at night, Carl, but I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to sit here. People, I tell you, how about if you don't want to watch anymore, you call it tonight. That's what I'm thinking, Carl. Laura Michelle, I just spit out my water. What was said? Laura, can you catch COVID listening to people on the computer like maybe Tom with his symptoms? No, he's from Kentucky 7 from Ragweed, I think it is. All right, guys, I love you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for putting up with me tonight. I'm out of sorts. I'm kind of just blah like that, but anyway, it was a good show. It helped me being here, and I'm glad you guys are here. I love you. We'll talk to you soon.